Good afternoon. Thank you for joining us for this webinar. I'm Renee Goodnow from the New York Small Business Development Center. I am currently off camera, as well as my coworker Jenny Alton will be helping out behind the scenes today. So the folks that you're really looking forward to are on the screen. So everyone can thank us for that later. This webinar is how to build your small business cyber risk program. The session is being recorded and we will share it with attendees shortly after the presentation. Attendees are muted and will not be on camera. If you submit a question, please don't, oh my goodness, I wrote, please don't type them in the question box. Please do type them in the question box as they come up. We will answer questions throughout and also at the end during the Q&A. If you submit a question, we will not mention your last name or your business name unless you reference them in your question. Today's host is the Baruch Small Business Development Center. The Baruch SBDC is part of the New York SBDC's network of 22 campus-based centers and outreach offices located across New York State. The New York SBDC is a U.S. Small Business Administration resource partner. Our free services are made possible by funding from the SBA, New York State, and our host campuses. Joining us to lead things off and to introduce our presenter is Baruch SBDC Business Advisor Aisha. Aisha, I'll turn things over to you to introduce our presenter. Oh, you're self-muted, Aisha.
Oh, I'm sorry about that. Thank you so much, everyone, for joining us today. Thank you, Renee, for the good introduction of the webinar itself. So as Renee shared, this is a program in partnership of NY SBDC and Posture to provide small businesses a program which caters to their needs of cybersecurity. This is the second webinar for the program. The program itself is a one-year-long program where you can become part of the Posture platform, where you can build your cybersecurity profile. It also involves, and that is 1 year free subscription. It also involves one-on-one counseling on your specific cybersecurity needs, if any. And we as SBDC, our advisors in all our locations, are available to help you through this journey. So it doesn't matter if you have any specific need at the moment, whenever it develops as a small business, each and every small business needs cybersecurity. That's what we want to promote, and we want to help you at least start. We have William with us. He is the co-founder and Chief Security Officer of Posture. Thank you so much, William, for joining. Today's webinar is going to focus on Posture, how you can build your cyber risk profile, and how Posture can help you do that. And after or during the webinar, Renee and Jenny, they are going to share some useful links. You can register with SBDC, find your own location, and you would be ready to register for the program itself. And I will now hand it over to William. Thank you. Feel free to ask questions during the webinar.
Yes. Aisha, thanks again. Welcome to, I'm happy to be here, part of this webinar number 2, the second part of our series on helping the New York SBDC clients gain access to resources to really protect themselves and protect their data. By way of introduction, my name is William McBorrough. I'm a co-founder and Chief Security Officer at Posture. I'm also the Chief Security Officer at MC Global Tech. And MC Global Tech is a DC-based cybersecurity firm. We work and support small businesses in highly regulated industries. So we help, small business government contractors with, CMMC and NIST-based requirements. We help healthcare small businesses with, HIPAA requirements. We help financial services firms, legal firms, etc. And I go to say that we've worked with a lot of small businesses over the years, and we really understand sort of the unique challenges when it comes to building and maintaining cybersecurity programs that small businesses have. I've been a cybersecurity professional for over 20 years. For about 15 of those years, I've also been an adjunct college professor at a number of universities, most recently for the last 10 years at the University of Maryland. I'm a small business owner, so I understand the challenges that small businesses face when it comes to cybersecurity. And I've been an SBDC partner and advisors for a number of years now. So part of what we're going to cover today The first part of this series, and I believe that webinar was recorded and made available, talks about why you need a cyber risk program, right? So we walk through the needs, we walk through best practices that all businesses, including small businesses, should implement. So we're going to do a quick review of that today, and then we're going to get into what do you do about it, right? So this webinar today is focused on building a cyber risk program with Posture. Posture is a resource that through our partnership with the New York SBDC, you all have access to and should take advantage of. So as a reminder, what is the problem? We know the percentage of small businesses that are attacked. We know the percentage of small businesses that do go out of business due to a significant cyber incident, right? This webinar is not to sort of rehash those stats. But there are a lot of resources out there for small businesses. A lot of these resources, though, are focused on training the small businesses, giving them sort of checklists and best practices to go off and implement. As a security advisor to small businesses for years, what I've seen firsthand is that what small businesses really need is help actually doing the things that we tell them they should do, right? So awareness is not enough if there isn't enough support to actually put data protection policies, protections, procedures, technology, training in place within the organization. Hence, that's why we created this partnership. So that is the problem. But also, typically, when we think about cybersecurity, we think about cybersecurity from the percentage of businesses that are being attacked, from the need to protect your business, from the need to spend time, resources, and money on investing in cybersecurity products and cybersecurity tools, etc. But cybersecurity is increasingly becoming a way to access new opportunities for small business. As part of every business relationship today, whether you're selling to the federal government, whether you are trying to sell to large corporate buyers or partner with larger companies, data protection, data privacy requirements are part of every business relationship. So having a security program in place enables you to gain access to more business opportunity, as well as it being totally necessary to protect your small business. So as a refresher, the New York SBDC has partnered with Posture to be able to provide you access to not just these training workshops and webinar, but access to the Posture Risk Management Platform. On the link, and I believe this link, on the screen, and I believe this link will be provided to you as part of your sign up for the webinar, and also at the end of the webinar, you have the link to sign up for the New York SBDC Posture Partnership, right? HTTPS www.postured.io/partner/NY SBDC. So this URL takes you to a page that provides you with all of the benefits of the platform, as well as what you get access to at no cost through our partnership with the New York SBDC. So what is Posture? Posture is a risk management platform designed specifically with the small business owner in mind. It helps you build a data protection cybersecurity program in language that you can understand, at a pace that you can sustain, and with access to built-in resources to help guide you step by step along the way. As part of our approach, when you sign up to the platform, you get to create a company profile. And that company profile captures information about your level of revenue, the kinds of data your business has access to, what industry you're in, where your data is stored, how you engage with your customers, how you engage with your partners, where your employees are located. All of these things are determining factors to your prospective risk level, right? So within the platform, we generate for you a risk profile based on your company profile. And based on that risk profile, we recommend for you a certain level of cybersecurity program. As part of our New York SBDC Get Every Small Business Cyber Ready goal, we are encouraging all SBDC clients to build at least a level 1 cybersecurity program. And during this webinar, we're going to walk you through how you do that by walking you through the playbook that is broken up into milestones and specific tasks and resources to help a small business build your cyber risk program. Within the platform, and you will see this live in action today, you have built-in cybersecurity awareness training that is made available for you as a New York SBDC client. Within the platform, we provide ongoing security awareness training on a monthly basis. Each of these training episodes lasts on average 3 to 5 minutes, so it's not a huge investment of time. But if you complete the initial set of 6 core training videos on best practices like passwords and ransomware and phishing, you get a cybersecurity badge, a cybersecurity awareness training badge that you can add to your website and show the world and show your clients and show your business partners that you're taking cybersecurity seriously. So again, another benefit that you should take advantage of. As I also mentioned, and you will see this in action today, the playbook is where it really happens. It's where we take your security program goals and we divide them up into implementation milestones and break each of those milestones into easy to understand tasks. A lot of cybersecurity platforms, and there are a lot of them, are designed by security professionals for security professionals. Posture, by contrast, was designed for primarily the non-technical small business owner, right? So it's provided to you in language that you can understand. There are free guides and resources built in there. There's a solution marketplace of vetted discounted products that you have access to, and you're able to build your security program at your own pace. So with that said, there's a slide here which has my contact information. My contact information will also be made available and posted to you all at the end of this webinar. Do feel free to reach out if you have any questions about the platform, and then we're going to get into it and show you how the platform can be used to build your cyber risk program. Before I do that, I'm going to check the chat. Okay, so no questions so far. All right. So with that said, I'm going to bring up the platform. So when you log into the platform, when you go to the sign up page and you sign up and you verify your account and you receive access to the platform. As I said, the first thing you do is you create a company profile. And based on that company profile, you are given a cyber risk level for your organization. Here you see that in this example, based on the information that I've added for this demo account, this organization has an elevated risk exposure due to participations in highly targeted industries. There are certain industries that are more targeted than others based on access to sensitive data types. If you're dealing with financial services information, if you're dealing with protected health information, and due to access to third parties, right? If you have other companies, other partners, other vendors that are connecting to your systems, getting access to your data, it elevates your risk level, right? So in this example, this demo company was recommended to implement a level 3 cyber program that implements essential data protection policies, training, tools, and processes to assess and manage the risk to their data in their systems. So from each of you, when you create your profile, you will get an assessment like this that assesses your current risk level, as well as recommend for you the cyber program that you should target. Again, for every New York SBDC clients, we are recommending for you that you at least build a level 1 cybersecurity program. This program covers the essential basics that you will need to put in place to protect your organization. So as part of this webinar today, we're going to walk through how to build a cyber risk program using the posture program at a level 1. As you can see on the screen, right, your playbook is broken up into milestones, is broken up into tasks, and you are provided with resources of which to be able to implement all of those tasks. And you will see all of this in action. So for your basic level 1 program, there are 4 milestones that you want to achieve. First, establish security rules for your organization, right? In order to manage your cybersecurity risk within your organization, you need to set up rules that guides the owner, that guides employees, partners, and other stakeholders to implement safe business practices. Next, you need training, right? Employees are your first and last line of defense against cyber threats. So mistakes by employees account for over 80% of cybersecurity incidents, right? So continuous cybersecurity awareness training is proven to reduce the risk of cyber criminals gaining access to your data and your systems. Again, language that you can understand. The third milestone focuses on protecting your data. Data is the crown jewel of any organization. You must be able to protect your business data and client information against accidental loss, right, and data breaches. So when you're protecting the availability of business critical information, it's not just about protecting against cyber threat. You should also be protecting against accidental loss and accidental failure of your IT systems. The last milestone, protecting your infrastructure, protecting your devices. Software applications, computing, and networking devices are used to store, process, and transmit business data. All of these must be securely configured and maintained to protect the organization. So each of these milestones are broken up into tasks. 3 tasks in milestone 1, 3 tasks in milestone 2, 4 tasks in milestone 3, and 3 tasks in milestone 4. So without further ado, let's look at milestone 1, establishing security rules for your organization. The first task is establish a security policy for your organization. You must create a security policy for your organization that clearly identifies the security rules, practices, and expectations for your business operations. Within the platform, we give you access to a security policy template. The next task is define the roles and responsibilities within your security program to ensure that employees understand what their responsibilities are for data protection and privacy within your organization. This should be built into your security policy, and you will see this when I share this security policy template that we've made available for you. And lastly, you must share your security policies with all of your internal stakeholders. Employees will not know what your policies are if you don't share it with them and train them on it, right? And they need to acknowledge that they understand your security rules and they will adhere to them. So within the platform we provide you, you're able to click and download, wrong document here. You're able to click and download an editable version, right, of your security policy, the posture level 1 security policy. So what you have within this policy is a defined purpose of the policy. This policy defines the responsibilities to protect and maintain the confidentiality, integrity, and availability of information and related assets, right? Manage risks of security exposure and compromise, assure a secure IT environment, monitor your systems, and promote security awareness, right? And within this policy, right, there are functional roles and responsibilities. Typically within a lot of the small business, typical of the ones that would work with an SBDC, right? You don't have a whole lot of internal IT or security staff, but within your initial policy template, there are roles for leadership, and then there are roles for the general workforce. And after that, you have individual security policy statements, security policies around new employee security training, right? Security policy around continuous security awareness training and security training compliance. You have policies around data protections, right? Account management and access control, right? Strong authentication, right? Data encryption, right? Data backups and recovery. How do you keep access to your data in the case of breach or failure, right? System protection, right? Policies for, again, ensuring that all of the systems are maintained and properly updated at all times, right? Security and system monitoring requirement. How do you ensure that you're monitoring all of the endpoints used for your business to ensure that they're secure? Malicious software protection. These are basic security best practices that all small businesses should have in place. And lastly, a compliance statement, a definition of terms, a revision tracking for your management, and a signature where all of your employees and contractors must sign. This is a templated policy that you can edit as much or as little as possible and use for your company. Now, your question is, how do I do all of the things in this policy? The best part of our approach is that this policy that you generate as part of your level 1 program aligns with your level 1 playbook. So this playbook, milestone 2, milestone 3, milestone 4, walks you through implementing that policy, right? So milestone 2 talks about training, ensuring that you have a security training program in place, that all new employees are giving a basic set of training, and you're providing ongoing security awareness training, and you are monitoring that training. Built into the platform is security awareness training that is provided as part of an initial setup, as well as part of your ongoing security program that we provide you hands-free, leveraging the platform. All you have to do is enroll your users. So one of the things that I'm going to do is I'm going to actually share one of the training videos. This one is focused on password security. This is a training video that all new employees should be provided access to. So I'm going to play this here briefly.
On Thursday, March 17th, 2017, McDonald's confirmed that their Twitter account was hacked. The hacker posted political tweets on the account that clearly weren't coming from McDonald's. The only way that the hacker could have done this was by actually logging into McDonald's Twitter account, which means the hacker knew their password. Chances are McDonald's didn't have a strong password on their account, or their password was compromised by some other means. McDonald's and Twitter resolved the situation quickly. In this episode, we discuss using passphrases instead of passwords and two-factor authentication to avoid situations like this in the future. Your 3 o'clock is here. Yes, come in.
Thank you for agreeing to meet with us and for giving our firm a second chance.
We at Big Macs have always been a fan of your work, but I'm still not convinced there's a future for our partnership. Not after what happened last month. We hired your firm to help attract more business, and instead, you're driving people away. I need an answer for this, now!
What might have happened is your Big Mac's Twitter account got hacked. Those offensive tweets your customers received must have been sent by a hacker.
Well, your PR firm maintains that Twitter account, so any damages resulting from it being hacked is on you, not us. Are we understood? I need to be 100% confident that the added security measures your firm has put into place will guarantee the Big Mac's Twitter account will never be hacked again.
Of course. And to help with that, I brought Megan, our information security director, and the newest member of our team. With Megan's help, we determined the weakness exploited in the Big Mac's Twitter hack was due, quite simply, to weak and recycled passwords. Megan?
I'm sure we can all relate to how tired we get having to remember passwords throughout the day. As a result, we make mistakes, either by using the same password across multiple sites or by using ones that are overly simple, like the dreaded password 1, for example. Problem is, hackers use software designed to decode people's passwords. So, when you use an overly simple one like password 1, you're essentially making their job easy, allowing them to crack your password in a matter of minutes.
To address this, the firm's security policy now requires all its employees to use passphrases instead of passwords. The advantage of passphrases is they afford far greater protection by being long, yet at the same time, easy to remember.
How's that possible, you might ask? By using phrases that are relevant to the account or website they're intended for. For example, for the Big Mac's Burger Twitter account, I might use something food-related.
But not something simple like burger or French fry. Those are still considered passwords. They aren't long enough, and they contain no spaces, numbers, or special characters.
Instead, I might use something like Big Mac's 4 burgers, but with a 1 instead of the I, the @ symbol for the A, etc. And the thing about passphrases, spaces are encouraged.
At a 14-character minimum, a passphrase such as this would take a hacker 4 trillion years to crack. Can you believe that? That's trillion with a T.
Passphrases also eliminate the habit of using the same password across different websites because you pick a passphrase relevant to the site you visit.
The other added security measure we put into place is known as two-factor authentication, or 2FA for short.
The advantage of 2FA is that it's a two-step process that requires the person signing in to have something of knowledge, like a passphrase, as well as something in their possession, like a phone.
The phone acts as a sort of digital key by receiving a text message with a special code that must be entered into the login screen in addition to the passphrase. Many apps and websites, such as Facebook and Twitter, already offer 2FA, and others are adding it all the time. Sometimes you just have to dig a bit in order to find it.
By adding passphrases and 2FA to our company's security policy, we've made our entire network infinitely more secure.
Now that our added security measures have been covered, what do you say we get down to the business of bringing customers back to Big Mac's Burgers?
Okay, let's get to it.
A lot of gems in that, right? And one of the things that you will find is the fact that a lot of the best practices that are covered in that training video, short, entertaining, focus on one specific topic. That's how we build training into the platform, right? Again, a new training video like that is produced every month based on a single security best practice that we want to train you and your users on, and is made available for you directly into the platform. So maintaining a security training program, ensuring that your staff and yourself is kept up to date, that's directly built right into the platform. A lot of the things that we talked about, when we go into milestone number 3, where we talk about the first task being limiting the access to all of your systems, right? Ensuring that you are leveraging strong passwords like we saw in the training video, on all of your accounts. We have a guide built here into the platform on how to create strong passwords, right? Where possible, especially on your systems that hold sensitive information or are business critical, you should leverage strong authentication or two-factor authentication. You just heard and saw that in the training. We provide you a guide for enabling two-factor authentication. Where you are storing sensitive information, you should leverage encryption. Encryption is a means of protecting your data from unauthorized access. Most business operating systems today, Windows 10 and 11, the MacBook operating system, have built-in capability to enable full disk encryption. They encrypt your entire hard drive. So if you were able to lose that device, or some unauthorized person gain access to that device, they won't be able to access your data. We provide you with a guide on how to enable that book on your Windows computers and on your MacBook computers. Fourth task, backing up your data, right? Ensuring that you are protecting your business sensitive data from either accidental loss or from some malicious actor, right? Ensuring that you're leveraging cloud-based services, including cloud-based secure backup services for all of your business sensitive data. One of the things that we didn't highlight, and I can now, is directly within the platform, there is a marketplace of vetted products that we've negotiated discounts with, solutions innovators that create products specifically for small businesses, to give you an example of the type of product that you might want to use to better mature your cybersecurity program. So you're able to purchase it from the platform, or you're able to research and find similar products online to be able to use. Now, within your playbook, again, there are tasks and steps that are sort of defined, explained, and guides are provided for you. All of these align with your security policy that we reviewed earlier, that you established for your organization. So this playbook is walking you through step by step of implementing all of the things that you have in your security policy that we provided earlier, right? So first, we established the security rules for our organization using the template provided. Next, we implemented a security training program using the training module. And lastly, we walked through data protection steps following the guides to put strong passwords in place, enable two-factor authentication, enable encryption where available, and enable data backups where it's needed. So that is milestone 3. The last and final milestone is where we talk about protecting your devices. How do you do that? First, you want to ensure that you are keeping all of your applications and your systems up to date, right? Technology product vendors routinely release software patches and updates to address security flaws that can be exploited by cyber criminals, right? So keeping your systems, your applications up to date protects against data breaches. Enabling automatic software updates is one of the ways that you can do that, right? So we provide you a guide, a free guide that walks you through how to enable automatic software updates on your Windows and MacBook computers, right? Next, monitoring your device, ensuring that you are leveraging solutions to ensure that, especially if you're an organization that is issuing computer devices, mobile devices to your employees, you have to ensure that you are monitoring those devices, right? New security flaws, system misconfigurations, and other weaknesses are common causes of security breaches, right? So routinely checking for these vulnerabilities can help protect your data. You have to ensure that you are monitoring your devices for missing patches, weak security settings, etc. There are tools available to help you do this if you have that need. One of the things that I can highlight enough is the fact that, again, for a lot of this, I'm just reading the text that is made available for you here, right? No technobabble, easy to understand tasks, explaining to you what you have to do, providing you access to resources to get it done, right? And lastly, ensuring that you have endpoint protection, antivirus, or anti-malware software installed on your business computer, right? Malicious software like viruses and spyware and ransomware infects your computers and servers and subsequently lead to disruptions and data loss. So ensuring that you have real-time security monitoring on your system to prevent these malicious actors is absolutely essential, right? We provide you a free guide here to enable the built-in Microsoft Windows Defender antivirus, and for stronger protection, we provide you with access to an option in our marketplace. So these are the 4 basic milestones that you follow to build a foundational program. Our goal was to create an approach that is achievable for even the smallest of small business. As a tool, what the platform allows you to do, it allows you to track the implementation of each of these. So as you have completed a task, you're going to mark that task as being completed, and you're going to document within the platform how you did that, right? Downloaded and modified the security policy template, signed by business owner or business manager, distributed to all employees for acknowledgement and signature. Can you document your progress for your security program as you go and execute each of these tasks, right? Task 3 of 3 has been completed. I'm sure questions are going to come up as you work your way through this, right? So directly built into the platform, on your lower left, there's a module where you have an opportunity to reach out. Help me, please. With questions that you might have about, again, specific tasks, specific functions of the product, any technical issues that you might be having, even if you want to just schedule some time with a cyber risk advisor. You have the ability to do that directly and build into the platform, right? So as part of the partnership with the New York SBDC, Posture as a solution is being made available to you all. And every small business within the New York SBDC universe should be able to access this, leverage this, build a foundational cybersecurity program, because not only is this necessary for data protections, and right within the playbook, we tell you why each task is important before telling you how to implement that task. Our goal is to keep it simple, is to keep it easy, right? So with that said, we have about 20 minutes or so left. I'm going to open it up for any questions anyone in the audience might have at this point.
Awesome. Thank you, William. I appreciate the presentation. There was a few questions I answered in the chat related to the SBDC, and there was one so far that came in for you. I'll remind folks, if you do have a question, to type it in your GoToWebinar questions box right now. Okay, so a question for you, William. What are best practices when employees may use their own personal mobile devices to access company data?
Either the wonderful or the dreaded BYOD, right? Bring your own device. So the foundations of data protections are sort of covered here, right? So if an employee is using a personal device, a device that you have no control over, right? Within an organization, you have a security policy that security policy governs all devices that are used to conduct business, right? So the expectation is that your employees are following your security policies, right? Things like ensuring their device is up to date, things like ensuring that they're using strong passwords, right? Things that ensuring that they have antivirus enabled on their device. These are all things that are part of your playbook, right? That are part of your security policy that every employee will have to sign. But these are also things that are going to protect you, right? So, for example, if a user is using, say, a personal device to access your Microsoft 365 environment, right? The best practices that are in this playbook is what you should have in place, right? Strong passwords, right? Unique accounts, right? Two-factor authentications, right? Ensuring that your employees have access to security training so that they are behaving in a safe business manner. These are things that you can put in place to help protect you even in a BYOD, environment. There are other technology solutions that are available to further secure an environment in which users are connecting via personal devices. It all depends on the level of risk, right? What are users using these personal devices to access? How sensitive is that, is that data, right? For example, if you're in healthcare and you are, this is covered protected health information that you have a legal and a regulatory requirement to have certain protections in place, right? There are drivers there to what you need to do. But after that long-winded answer, the best answer for you is that within those specific use cases, that's what posture is for, right? You are able to, again, post those questions directly within the platform. It gets emailed to myself or someone on my my team, and we can provide you guidance on what you might need to also do above and beyond what is currently in the playbook here.
Very cool. Thank you. There was another question. Let's see if I can word this. Sometimes there's a bit of pushback on two-factor authentication because it can be inconvenient. How do you recommend handling that with employees?
Okay, so the old convenience argument, right? So there's a reason that we put security practices into place, right? We put security practices into place because it has been established that especially for data that is sensitive to the organization, and that breach of that data would have a significant negative impact on the organization, more protections are necessary, right? So it's rarely around creating greater awareness within the organizations so that employees can get a better understanding of why these security measures are being put into place, right? The reason why we implemented a security training program directly into the platform that is designed the way it is to help enhance that understanding, right? Yes, it's one thing to say, these are our policies. As an employee, you have to follow these policies or else, right? It's something else to say, let me help you understand why these policies are in place. In the example training video that we saw a use case in which for the social media account of this company, they were using a very weak password. As a caveat, do you know that the most popular password of 2021? It was password, right? Still password, right? But we saw a use case where because the password was so weak, that social media account got compromised and the attacker used it to publish harmful information about the company, and that led to a significant negative business impact, right? So part of how the training program within this platform work, and part of what employers and managers who seek to instill in their subordinates is an appreciation of, yes, it might cost you 30 seconds more to enter this second factor, but you are doing that to protect the organization. And here's the risk of harm that can occur if these measures are not put into place. So there's one track of policies and compliance, but also there's another track of awareness and understandings, because as I said in here, employees are your first and last line of defense. So security measures do add extra steps, right? But the onus is on us to help our staff understand why these extra steps are necessary.
Perfect. And we have another question that's a little over my head, so I hope you understand it. For best practices for CMM 2.0 expected, for level 2, what do major primes do for mobile devices? Do major primes publish best practices for their channels?
Okay. So for everyone's sort of background, right? The cybersecurity maturity model certification is a program out of the DoD for ensuring that contractors have a set of data protection mechanisms in place. CMMC as a program is really just a verification of existing requirements that have been on the books since 2013 and beyond. So what you're seeing now is that starting next year, 2023, the DoD is now starting to enforce these requirements either through a self-attestation for DoD contractors and other contractors that are based on basic security requirements that are in the FAR, right? Or for contractors to have access to covered unclassified information, as an information that the DoD really wants to protect. There's a higher level of security requirements. Those security requirements govern the type of data that the government either produces or the contractor produces, and the government wants to ensure it's being secured. The question now is, what are primes doing to ensure compliance is flowed down to their subcontractors? The requirement is these contractual requirements do flow down, and yes, the onus is on primes to ensure that their subcontractors are meeting all 110 security requirements of the NIST 800-1701 where it's applicable, but each prime is approaching this slightly different, right? Most of what I've seen in my experience outside of running posture, I also run MC Global Tech, which is a CMMC RPO, right? Means a firm that helps DoD contractors, is that primes have an expectations that the subcontractors are able to meet these requirements, right? So I have not seen use cases where there's a lot of help, flowing down. But again, as these requirements mature, that might change. So I can't speak to what large primes are doing, but there are requirements for authentication, for access control, for encryption, for privileged access, for data at rest and in transit, protections for monitoring, for backup and recovery. All of these sets of best practices follow the protected information, the CUI, and even if it's on a mobile device, if it's being accessed or stored on a mobile device, yes, those requirements are still in play, and it's up to the subcontractor to ensure that they have the capabilities to protect that data, and it's up to the prime contractor to ensure that their subcontractors can comply. So I went into a little bit of weeds there, but I hope I answered the question.
You did. The asker said, great overview, good experience sharing. Thank you. All right, there's a question on phishing. There's a lot of talk about phishing emails. How much of an issue are phishing emails for small businesses? Or are there other ways that are more common for small business passwords to be compromised?
most, and that's most with a capital M-O-S-T, right? All caps, right? Most cyber attacks against small businesses today come via email, right? Come via phishing, come via spam, come via malicious attachments. Email is a primary path for cyber attacks into small businesses. One of the things that we talked about when we talked about our best practices, right? In the first webinar in this series, email security was part of that, right? So it can't be overstated. Security awareness training, as well as having protections in place for your inbox. The need for that can't be overstated. In other settings, I've been able to bring up our email security solution and show that close to 60% of the email connections that are sent to us are either blocked out of hand because they're coming from malicious servers, or they are blocked as phishing, or they're blocked as spam, right? So of the hundreds of emails that I receive every day, only about 30 to 35% of that is legitimate email, and that is fairly common, right? So the need for anti-phishing protection can't really be overstated.
Got it. Thank you. I'll give folks another moment, see if there's any more questions. Those were great. Thank you, William. I'll mention before we shut down, when I do end the webinar, you'll be prompted to complete a survey. There's lots of questions on there. They are all optional. The ones we look forward to the most are the ones letting us know how we did today and any future webinars you would like to see. And if you have any follow-up questions, there are some contacts listed in the chat. If you did miss the items that Jenny left in the chat, you can reply to the GoToWebinar email, and that will go right to Aisha Baruch. And speaking of Aisha Baruch, if you have anything to add before we shut down, please do so. William, I don't see any more questions coming in. Great job. Aisha, I'll turn things over to you.
Thank you so much, Renee. Thank you so much, William. It was a great presentation, and I think I'm gonna reset all my passwords tonight. That was great. So thank you so much, everyone, for participation. As I shared earlier, this is a partnership between SBDC, so we as advisors are available for any more questions. Moving forward, as I mentioned earlier, this is a one-year partnership program. We will have more discussions, one-on-one sessions with William, his availability and his team. And it's a journey that we are preparing and introducing for you guys to come and join and let us help you achieve all your cybersecurity goals. We have another webinar coming up on December 6th, which is going to further focus on specific cybersecurity requirements in different industries. I think we had couple of brilliant questions, which discuss specific requirements. So the next webinar is going to focus primarily on that. I am going to post a link into the chat for our SBDC sign-up page, so you can go there and become a client and just mention cybersecurity there, and we'll definitely reach out to you, take it further. And as William mentioned, there's a link for the Posture and NY SBDC sign-up page as well. So go ahead, we'll reach out to you, and we look forward to address any of your cybersecurity needs that we can. Thank you, William, once again. Thanks, everyone.
Thank you.
Absolutely. Thank you so much. And I hope everyone has a great rest of your week, and we'll look forward to seeing you for the next session. William, is it our last session together, the next one?
We will be working with Aisha and her team to plan other sessions.
Okay, very cool.
Our goal is to be responsive to the needs of the clients, right? So they will be able to come.
Well, you answered my question. We have one date left on the books before we schedule more. Thank you so much. Have a great week, everyone, and take care.
All right, bye-bye.
Take care. Bye-bye.